After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Raising Cane's Texas Toast is a thick slice of bread, garlic butter spread.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Chiefs receiver Rashee Rice released from a Dallas County jail today after serving his 30-day sentence for violating terms of his probation, which stemmed from his role in a 2024 car crash that left multiple people injured on a Texas highway. Rice, coming back from a knee procedure, expected to report to training camp on time. As talks continue to heat up for Giannis Antetokounmpo, sources tell ESPN's Jamal Collier that teams are preparing for the Bucks to trade the two-time NBA MVP within the next week. Celtics and Heat most engaged in discussions. Miami's the favorite, but don't count out Boston when it comes to Giannis, explains Collier.
Giannis still has one guaranteed year remaining on his contract. That makes his sway and his decision of where he would sign an extension very important throughout this process. And it's why the Boston Celtics are still very much alive and expect to be an active player in this as well, because sources have indicated that Giannis would sign an extension to remain in Boston.
Golden Knights announced that John Tortorella will not return as head coach next season. Sources tell ESPN he would like to coach in the league next season.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Wednesday, Brian Windhorst dropped his top 6 storylines that already are shaping the NBA offseason. I'll tell you which one intrigues me the most. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will.
Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Shea Dixon here in 15 minutes. Mike Triplett will be along in hour number 3. Brendan Sorsby's college career is over. We got a lot to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
One of the sagas we have been watching since the start of the league year in the NFL is what is going to happen with Saints defensive end and future Pro Football Hall of Famer Cameron Jordan. Well, today we have that answer. It was, a day ago, actually, hat tip to Teron Armstead, yes, former Saint Teron Armstead, who on his podcast sort of announced that Cam Jordan would be visiting the Saints.
Cam Jordan will be flying to New Orleans tomorrow, going to the facility, planning to have a conversation. Nothing set in stone, but the hope is alive that Cam Jordan will continue his career in black and gold.
And that's exactly what happened. The Saints and Cam Jordan did, in fact, agree to a deal for Cam Jordan to return to New Orleans for the 2026 season. The 2011 first-round draft pick now looks like he is in line to finish his career where it started a decade and a half ago. Cam Jordan did meet with reporters and had this to say about his decision to return to New Orleans.
Just, overly appreciative of the Saints organization, of you guys, of every
random fan that we've talked to the last 15, 16 years. Like I said, just excited to be back in the city. I think we got a lot of work to accomplish, especially with the Cam Jordan Foundation, how we've been able to send kids to school the last couple of years. Looking forward to doing more. I think we're about to activate, 16 years, 16 weeks of give backs to New Orleans. We've got so much plans in the works already. Even if I hadn't been here, I still would have give back. But I'm overly blessed and highly favored for being here.
So I have a lot to say about this. I'm ecstatic that it worked out this way for a lot of different reasons. So let me give you my opinion on this. I'm going to come back and let you hear a little more of what Cam had to say about how all of this came together. Good for Cam for accepting reality and having the humility to return to a team and an organization that he has played for 15 years, given everything of his body, his family, his time, his energy, his love, his passion, his commitment, all the tangibles and intangibles. A guy who is destined to be in the Saints Ring of Honor and one day will wear a gold jacket in Canton. And in spite of all of that history, the reality of Cam Jordan in 2026 says you don't give Cam Jordan in 2026 a multi-year contract with guarantees. But despite all of the past, Cam could have said, hey, man, after all I've done for a decade and a half in this organization, you're going to give me a prove-it deal? Especially after I just played on one and had a double-digit sack season? He could have said, man, forget it. He could have been bitter, retired, done literally anything else. But the market spoke. And the Saints, who I will compliment, and I always have in this respect, it's so bizarre because as fiscally irresponsible as they have been largely for the last decade, restructuring contracts and going into quote-unquote cap hell, they have actually had incredible financial discipline when it comes to free agents, in particular their own. I mean, they let Mark Ingram walk to Baltimore over a matter of about $250,000. They let Marcus Williams walk. They let Trey Hendrickson walk. A year ago, it was Paulson Adebo. This year, they let Alontae Taylor walk. They let the Titans pay him. They let Roman Harper go to Carolina. They shipped Darren Sproles off to the Eagles. The old adage, you'd rather get rid of a player a year too soon than a year too late. Like, they have been almost bizarre with how fiscally responsible they've been with free agents and how committed they are to their valuation because they have been anything but with the way they restructure deals. But the Saints stuck to their number, as they are wont to do, and Cam, who went and shopped his services, and the market spoke, had the humility to come back and say, you know what, this is where I want to be, regardless of what the deal looks like. So good for him. We'll see what that contract looks like, but I can tell you what it's going to look like. It's going to be a one-year incentive-laden deal, just like the one he just played on. And that may be hard to stomach or to swallow or to understand, but the reality is that Cam Jordan is a declining football player. And you could say, well, he had 10.5 sacks last year, and that is true. He did have 10.5 sacks a season ago. That is also the outlier for Cam Jordan. Prior to that, it was 4 sacks. The year before that, it was 3. In 2022, it was 9. He hadn't had a double-digit sack season since 2021. And you're not paying Cam Jordan for what he did from 2011 to 2021. You're paying Cam Jordan for what he will be in 2026. And the reality is, over the last half decade, last year's production was an outlier. You can also look at his snap counts. Look, you have paid Chase Young and Carl Granderson to be your starters. And Cam is now a rotational player. Look at his snap counts. In 2012, 1,038. 2013, 1,017. 999, 979, 963, 1136, 1001, 950, 908, 831, 790, 770, 565, 589. He's playing half the snaps. He's a rotational player. You don't give multi-year guarantees to a rotational guy at 37 years old. And the Saints didn't, regardless of what his resume was. Now, leader, locker room guy, productive player at 37 as a rotational piece in a backup. All those reasons you want Cam Jordan in your locker room, on your team, in your culture, with your yes. But it's got to be at the right price, and the market spoke. How many people have listed their home for sale by owner? Because you think, and you get no offers because you've overpriced your home because it's your home and you're emotionally attached to it and you think it's worth so much more than it actually is based on what the market says. That's Cam. Cam didn't want to accept the fact that his value isn't what the market says it is. So he went and shopped his services, and the Saints moved on. The Saints added Tyree Wilson on a draft day trade. They signed Anthony Jennings. They moved on from Cam Jordan. They had to. They had to go act as if he weren't going to be back. And so they fortified that spot and left the door open if he wanted to return on this deal to be able to do it. And good for him for being willing to do it. He didn't have any suitors. He recognized the reality of the situation and came back to a place that's going to love him no matter what. And we're all going to pull for him like mad and hope he has another awesome season in New Orleans and capitalizes on all the financial incentives of his deal and continues to do the thing he just talked about, the 16 weeks of give back and all that sort of stuff. It's amazing. And he's going to be one of the most beloved Saints in the history of this organization for all time, and rightfully so. And we could be nostalgic about it, but I'm glad that Cam Jordan's going to finish his career in New Orleans. It's not that dissimilar from what happened with J.J. Watt. But J.J. Watt didn't finish in Houston. Watt was at one point the best defensive player in the NFL. I mean, he went 20 and a half sacks, 10 and a half, 20 and a half, 17 and a half, and then the injuries hit. 1.5, 0. Had a healthy 2018, 16 sacks, then 4, 5. They traded him to Arizona, 1, then 12 and a half in his last year, and he was retired. J.J. Watt had 7 incredible seasons and 5 seasons that were injury-plagued and not productive. It's easier when you can remove emotion and talk about J.J. Watt. But Cam Jordan is in a very similar spot. Now, Cam hasn't had injuries, but the productivity and the age is certainly part of it as well as it was with J.J. Watt, as it is with Cam Jordan. Jordan did also meet with reporters and asked if this was ever in doubt.
The open line of communication I've had with Mickey as well as the Saints and all my guys here has been nothing short of a blessing. And at the end of the day, it was mutual benefit for us to come back. From what I want to do with perspective, I always believe in, black and gold and how, I'm still pumping up the draft like I'm still part of the team. I don't think that's ever going to change. The way that I want to affect this city, I don't think that's ever going to stop. I think I still went to a couple school visits. Of course, there's always avenues that you could take that'll take you away from home, but it's become home for us. So you always end up back at the crib.
Very non-denial denial there from Cam Jordan when asked if this was ever in doubt, because of course it was. And they had the open line of communications, but I think if the right offer was there for Cam Jordan to go somewhere else, this would have taken him somewhere else. But in the end, all roads lead back to the crib. Cam Jordan back for his 16th season in New Orleans. All right, it's After Further Review. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. So this fall, when you're in the Dome, watching Cam Jordan and maybe his final go-round with the New Orleans Saints, make sure you're toasting the delicious taste of Bud Light, the official beer of your New Orleans Saints, official beer of the Tigers, and the official beer of summer. Y'all, so if you're at the beach, by the pool, hanging at your favorite restaurant, watering hole, whatever it may be, ask for it by name and drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer that supports all of your favorite teams. Saints, the Tigers, the Jags. Drink easy with a great taste of Bud Light. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We always visit with Shea Dixon from On3, the Bengal Tiger. And my goodness, do we have a lot to do, including 3 more commits for the Tigers. We'll get to it next on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com for River City's 1 Hour Air. 2 things to remind you about. 1, preseason AC tune-up. If you haven't done it yet, not too late. Call River City's 1 Hour Air. Have them come out, get your AC tuned, cleaned up, inspected, so it's running efficient for the warm weather months. That's number 1. Number 2, if you are having an issue with your AC, call River City's 1 Hour Air. Remember, they come out nights, holidays, weekends. They won't charge you extra to come out nights, holidays, weekends. This weekend, Sunday's Father's Day. If you're at home on Father's Day and the AC is not keeping up, call River City's 1 Hour Air. They'll send someone out on Father's Day. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001. Read their 5-star reviews. 752-0001.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make First American a household name. And people look at us and say, hey, what's special about you guys? You're part of a family.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Rolling along here, Tuesday edition of AFR. We are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. If you're trolling around Venice this time of year, you might see the new Sunshine wrapped boat. Looks awesome. A professional fisherman, Jared Sporer, did it. Man, you can take advantage of a charter trip down there in the Sunshine boat. Go check it out, Sunshine. Sunequip.com, sunequip.com. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out. Is we good? Yes? Okay. All right, Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger, joins us as he does every Tuesday. Talk a little recruiting. A lot to get into. Shady, how are you?
I've been busy. How have you been, Matt?
Not as busy as you with respect to recruiting. Let's dive in. The news today, Trey Segara, running back from South Carolina, picks the Tigers. Okay. Tell us about him and how LSU got this done.
Yeah, this is a guy who, well, let's first about him. The comp is that we have on Rivals is a guy like Damian Pierce. Played at Florida, went on, has been playing in the NFL, but think of that 5'11", well north of 200-pound runner who's got great speed, but really that vision and change of direction ability that not everybody out there has. And that's what has him as a top 10 running back. And look, he's coming out of Burns in South Carolina. That's where Marcus Lattimore went to high school. Trey Segura is not only just a South Carolina native, he's a Gamecock legacy. This is a guy that a lot of people thought early on just end up at USC. That's just what would happen out of Burns. And he kind of took a look around and said, look, a lot of teams, Indiana, got involved, got into campus, was interested there, but said that about 2 months, he said early May, so about a month ago, let's call it, he said that's when Kevin Smith offered him, and LSU's running backs coach, and really got involved. And his quote was, "It wasn't a terribly long time ago, but it was enough time to get to know Coach Smith and keep him in kind of the forefront of his mind as he started making visits." And he fit one in, and he said it today on his announcement, Matt, that he told the coaching staff in Tiger Stadium on the field during the official visit, which was well over a week ago at this point. So they knew this one was coming. And I think it was one of those things where that same weekend they landed another running back in Brendan Lacey. We know they want Trey Martin, the one running back left on the board here in Louisiana that's been a priority for him. So we'll see how it unfolds. But today belongs to Trey Segura. It's the kid that anybody, any class out there would be, any fan base should be pumped to see his commitment come through. He is he ran for 1,700 yards this past season, well over double-digit touchdowns, and what is one of the better classifications over in South Carolina.
Shea, with 2 commitments already, I know you told us last week they want to add a third. I think we're all assuming right now that would be Trey Martin. What does that mean for the current roster, Shea, with 6 scholarship running backs that all have eligibility into 2027? I can't imagine a world where LSU carries 9 scholarship running backs in 2027.
No. And from speaking with the kids who are involved right now and those around them, they're being told by Kevin Smith, by Billy Glasscock, by Lane Kiffin that there's a number that they want in the room next year. Now, whether that's made up of high school guys, if you sign 3 this cycle, or if it's made up of a blend, they want to get there. Well, as you noted, they have a deep room right now. We don't know a lot about any of them really beyond that front group. Well, Caden Durham played here last year, so past couple of years, him. Harlan the same. They bring in Dylan Jones from Wisconsin. They really leaned on him. But other than that, we just saw flashes. If you want to correct me, please do. But I don't know what the future holds for those guys after that first wave. And I think in LSU's mind, hey, if we can find 3 guys at the high school level that we really like that each complement each other, let's be up front with them and say, hey, we're going to go this route. And look, Matt, if I'm the high school kid, I like it because I'd much rather know, hey, Matt Moscona's the other back, and I know me and him are kind of a little bit different than wait for Lane to hit the portal and all of a sudden, Reggie Bush is the other back. And I'm like, well, I'm definitely never playing. So if I'm these guys, I don't think I'm as quickly turned off by, 3 running backs in one class. Why would they do that? Well, it's just how you have to fill out a room. And in the era of high school and the portal, I'm a high school prospect. I kind of like knowing what I'm getting into more than leaving it up to Lane and whatever he wants to do in the portal.
Shea Dixon's with us. He's at Shea Dixon. That's going to be fascinating to watch. The Tigers did pick up their first 2 offensive line commits within a few hours of each other on Monday. Let's take them one at a time, Shea. Sort of the bios of both, but also what this means as they fill out that offensive line room here in this 2027 class.
Kudos to Eric Wolford here. They landed 2 guys, one a Hawaii native coming out of Mission Viejo. And both of these guys I think will be interior offensive linemen. I know they wanted to go ahead and get a couple of those guys in the boat, but they got one. And look, we could botch the
I got it.
saying of it here. Okay.
I got it. It's
there's a nickname too.
Oh, I didn't know the
Go
nickname.
ahead.
I just know the name is.
It'll spell it out. Go for it.
It's Amazea.
Correct.
I know.
So
I got
they
it.
They just call him Zaya.
Zaya. Okay.
Okay.
Like I was told,
so,
you know the song "Rock Me Amadeus." They said it's like Amadeus, but like with a Z and no S at the end. So Amaziah. Amaziah
There you go.
Ciale is how they say it.
Amaziah Ciale. So,
Nailed it.
Polly, obviously, if you're listening, I said Polly, a Hawaiian kid here. Bud has been playing at Mission Viejo, so over in California, and I'll make this one quick. Look, he got offers. He's committed to Tosh and Cal. He went to Texas camp, got offered by Bama. Matt, when he was at Texas camp, his trainer, who's taking him around, sees on Twitter that Lane Kiffin had hired at Orgeron. They call Mario Cristobal and Miami after they talk to Ed Orgeron and say, we're not coming to the camp anymore, which would have gotten him offered by the Hurricanes, certainly. He went on a run of offers because the trainer's son played at USC back in the day. How did he play at USC? Ed Orgeron offered him a scholarship and recruited him there. So when they saw it come across Twitter, wherever, he said, look, we hit up Coach O. And we're like, is this true? And he's like, yep. And they're like, when do you start? He's like, I'm right now. They're like, all right, let's walk in a visit. So LSU went from not even involved to, Eric Wolford, here, can you get this done? And he did. And then Terrence Smith being the other kid this is one Charles Power, our National Director of Scouting, is really, really intrigued by because he got banged up this past year, so he didn't get to play a full season. He's coming off of a knee injury. But testing-wise, he said, relative to athleticism, I mean, I don't have his stat, right in front of me, but he's well over 6'4", carries his weight very well, but his shuttle, his vert, his 40, everything that these coaches test for and then kind of determine who's an athletic offensive lineman, he's in the 99th percentile. If we're talking all of these guys they've been recruiting, we just haven't got to see a lot of them. And certainly that's what Charles was saying from the ranking side. Regardless, they've got him as a top 10 interior offensive lineman. We'll see if they don't want to kick him out to right tackle. Either way, that was a really massive day to go from, Eric Wolford's first year on this staff, and he wasn't part of the Ole Miss staff at Plains. He's like the only guy on offense who's having to work himself in here alongside a familiar name in James Craig. But to go from no commits, Matt, to 2 commits and two pretty good ones that had offers from everybody is a pretty nice Monday. I guess he took Tuesday off. Let the running backs have some shine, but they'll pick it back up.
Let's talk about Terrence Smith, the other elite prospect that popped on Monday evening.
Yeah, so that's who. I guess I kind of blended them both in there, but Ciale being the definite kind of heavier run blocker interior player. I wouldn't be shocked if they tried him at guard center. Smith is a kid who, like I said, when talking to our national director of scouting and rankings, and he's considered a top 10 interior offensive lineman. He was like, this is that kid, one of the few kids in this class, regardless of position, he said, that I am so curious how things work out. He was like, I'm glad he went to LSU because I think that Lane and that offense can hide some deficiencies and then he can really shine because got injured, banged up his knee this past year, so missed some games, but he's 6'7", 290. And his actual athletic testing is, as I noted, just off the charts. So I think they're really kind of not eager, however maybe eager is the word to describe it, but they kind of get an eye on him as a senior because there's a chance that he's better than where he's ranked. And he's already ranked as a top 100 player and a top 10 interior offensive lineman. And that's knowing he's missed time and not been able to fully develop yet.
Shea, they expect any of these guys to play immediately?
Say it one more time.
Do they expect any of these guys, these offensive linemen, to play immediately?
It's a great question. So in the world we're living in of NIL, I think that there is is it the Mendoza line? What do we want to call this? But there's a line you hit where we're not paying that, but for a year of football for you to stand on the sideline.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that is not going to happen. And what happens if you then transfer out? Now, we've lost the money, we've spent time developing you, and you've actually never even played. So they have to find that balance, and it's why so often people have said it's going to be so hard to stack talent and, really keep guys and develop them. But I think offensive line is one where you hope you can do that. So the goal probably so far, I wouldn't think they would expect any of these guys to play right away. But these are guys who are going to be SEC starters, no doubt. Now, go out there and pop, your Jalen Brewster types on the D-line. And if that type of offensive lineman came to the class, then yes. But right now, I think with these guys, they're investing in a lot of guys that they feel like Matt can help them out probably by year 2, but aren't paying exorbitant amounts of money for them and are beating out teams, or in the race with teams who are also sort of the who's who of college, kind of successful programs right now. So I do think they want to go heavy like that in the trenches. We're seeing it on D-line. I just don't think there's a lot of offensive linemen out there this cycle that lined up with LSU as well as we've seen it on the defensive line the past 2 years, just with geography and stuff like that.
So what does that mean for Albert Simeon?
Put me on the time. Yeah, he's from here, so I guess we can talk about him.
Yeah.
Look, he's had an LSU, is a Lake Charles kid. Had an LSU offer for a while. Nebraska kind of flirted around there. He's really looking into Notre Dame as well. Steve Wilfong today for Rivals had a piece saying, hey, look, the buzz around this Notre Dame visit is starting to kind of take more attention off of Texas A&M, but really watch for LSU, that they are making this massive push now. And we know that Lane Kiffin doesn't want a 5-star offensive lineman to leave the state. And look, I'm not familiar with any of the NIL stuff here or anything like that. I just follow it daily, and I see that Albert Simeon he's not dropping into campus as much as some of these other kids are. He was on that very first wave of visits, and could he end up a Tiger? Sure. I would think right now I'm leaning A&M. I kind of follow watch what they do, not what they say, and it just seems like he's, one, been set on trying to say, hey, I want to see stuff outside of Louisiana, and 2, I think that the A&M staff's done the best job recruiting him, and I think that's in part because LSU's had to recruit him with 2 different staffs.
Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Hey, real quick, I know we got to bounce. Anything else, anyone else we should be keeping an eye on right now?
Yeah, look, I think another would come out of this weekend, a couple actually. Davion Jones at safety, who's actually Josh Dobson's teammate, funny enough, but 4-star top 10 safety, and then Brandon Sherrard over at Shadow Creek, one of the top corners, both on campus. I think both might end up in this class, so as you keep an eye on what Corey Raymond and Jake Olson are doing back there at DB, where they really, they scored big on some portal kids here recently, but we're going to see a lot of these high school stymies start to play again, much like Deshaun Spears has been doing, Pickett, Woodland. So I won't be shocked if the next couple of weeks brings some news on that front. And then, Matt, at some point between now and the end of the month, Trey Martin will announce between LSU and Florida. He's your Franklin Parish running back and the top running back left on the board in the state.
He's Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Of course, Rivals for the recruiting piece. Get him at Shea Dixon. Always appreciate you, man. Thank you.
No problem, Matt.
All right, we'll do it again next week. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. As we always say, Our Lady of the Lake and LSU together, we roar. That championship health partnership has just been awesome to tell you so much about. And success starts long before Saturday nights in Tiger Stadium. The offseason is here, in recovery, in the work that happens between games and seasons. That's why Lane Kiffin and players like Sam Levitt, Whit Weeks, Trades Green, Jordan Seaton, they trust FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, with their health care. That trust is backed by the health system that's growing, thriving, and serving communities across Louisiana and Mississippi. With more than 20,000 team members and a $5 billion network of care, FMOL Health has earned national recognition for quality with 2 Exceptional Workplace Awards from Gallup. They continue to invest the people and communities that they serve. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU. Together, we roar. Learn more at olrmc.com/LSU. olrmc.com/LSU. All right, it's after further review, and we're glad to have you hanging out with us here. We'll knock out a quick break. We'll come back, go around the SEC, including a restructuring of LSU's front office with some titles and roles now formalized. We'll get to that here in just a smidgen. Gigantic story, obviously. Brendan Sorsby's not going to play at Texas Tech. I'll get to that in 26 minutes at the top of hour 2. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Mega congratulations are in order for Derek Duplessis and my friends over at Duplessis Builders. In case you missed the announcement, for the second consecutive year, Duplessis Builders has been named a top 50 pool builder in America. Not in Baton Rouge or South Louisiana or in Louisiana or the region. A top 50 pool builder in the entire United States of America. We'll find out soon exactly where they placed on that list, but we do know that they've made the list again from Pool and Spa Magazine as a top 50 pool builder in America. And that all goes down and goes to credit to the fact that, which I want to tell you all the time, yes, there's plenty of pool companies that can build you a beautiful pool. And Duplessis can do that. But what sets Duplessis apart is their commitment to the quality of work. That's why they offer a 10-year workmanship warranty and their commitment to customer service. Look, they're digging a giant hole in your backyard. It's very invasive. You want to have a great experience? You want Duplessis Pools. DuplessisPools.com. DuplessisPools.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
We're brought to you by ProForm Steel. If you are thinking about or planning to install a metal building, you want ProForm Steel. Easiest way I can say it. ProFormLA.com, ProFormLA.com, ProFormLA.com. If you've been buying metal buildings in the region for any number of years, then you're familiar with Brandon Golson, the work that he does. This is the new venture, ProFormLA.com, ProFormLA.com. Metal buildings done right from design to delivery. So many differentiators. Faster lead times. Every project, free delivery. If you buy a building from them, they will deliver it to you for free. Every single building. And they also have in-house engineers and architects. So the point is, like, if you need a question answered, they're not getting you on a 3-way call somewhere else. They're just walking into the office and getting your answer. It's ProForm Steel. ProFormLA.com. Start today at ProFormLA.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Over by the gate, Lordy, here she comes with a basket
bucket full of chicken and a big cold jug of sweet tea.
The LSU football program has announced their front office staff. Now, a lot of this we knew, but now it has been formally announced. So we know, obviously, Lane Kiffin, the head coach, and Billy Glasscock is the general manager. But in addition to those roles, Adam Clark and J.R. Belton will serve as assistant general managers. J.R. Belton was on the previous staff and was in an administrative role under Brian Kelly. And I think just one of the things I'll credit Lane Kiffin and Clark, they brought in, who had previously worked with Glasscock, had been at NC State, brought him back. He's the guy, as I understand it, when they're sitting there, looking at prospects. Clark's the one sitting there with a laptop, hammering out with all the analytics and everything on his computer screen, how they're going to do that. And then also Taylor Jacobs was announced as Chief Strategy Officer. Two things here. Number one, with respect to Belton, J.R. Belton has been an incredibly important part of what LSU has been building. You probably know that J.R. Belton played at West Monroe. He's from North Louisiana, and he's been part of the LSU football staff since 2021. And he's just continued to increase his role on the football staff now to this assistant general manager job. Belton is so integral because of the relationships that he has with coaches and I guess a good way to say it is just influential people in the state of Louisiana to get things done, from recruiting to fundraising and all different types and pieces of this. I mean, J.R. Belton's the one that had the initial relationship with Ahmad Hudson, being from North Louisiana and Ruston. When Hudson committed, I mean, go look at the photo of Ahmad Hudson. He's sitting there with J.R. Belton. So all that to say, I think it's very smart of Lane Kiffin when he got here. And I'll tell you, talking to a lot of people on staff from the previous staff, right? It was very divided initially, and I kind of understand it. I mean, Lane Kiffin got here, and within a couple of days, the portal was open, right? So, within a couple of days, they had to do finish off the high school class, and then that turned their attention to the portal and fundraising and all that sort of stuff. And it was really divided. I mean, it was like the new staff on one side of the building and the old staff on the other side of the building, and they didn't really communicate very much. But I think as they started working and then hosting recruits, it became very clear who the people in the building were that were essential to keep. And one of the things that Lane did very well, because he wanted to bring a lot of his guys with him, and he did, he identified the guys that were guys and gals, the people on staff that were essential, and found a way to keep both, sometimes in dual roles, like this assistant general manager spot where you have two guys in Clark and Belton effectively holding the same role, but with different skill sets. So I think that's very important, and something that Lane recognized. And we've talked about guys like Jeff Martin. I mean, Jeff Martin, I know a lot of times these are support staff roles that guys and gals that operate sometimes in the shadows, and people may not be familiar. Like Jeff Martin joined the LSU staff as a student assistant under Nick Saban, and was at LSU on staff for 20 years under Saban and Miles and Ogeron. And then Brian Kelly came here, and Southern Cal called on him. He took a job at SC and then ultimately found his way back here, which is great. But the point is, I think Lane very quickly realized the importance that Jeff Martin had when they were going through recruiting visits. And so they're like, no, we got to keep that guy. And they did. And so there's a lot of people like that on staff, and JR is certainly one of them. And then the Taylor Jacobs role is fascinating. I did reach out to Taylor today, candidly, and I hope to get her on the show. And, Taylor's been on the show a lot over the years because her initial role at LSU was she was in charge of NIL. I mean, that was her. She was the associate athletic director for NIL. That's been Taylor's role for 5 years, since NIL's inception. So she's someone who has such an intimate knowledge of that side of things, not only big picture in college sports, but specifically at LSU, because that has been her job the last 5 years. If you remember, they did that Netflix or Amazon, whatever it was, documentary they did, a few years ago. Remember that it was Flaugier was featured in, it was Shaq's production
The
company.
Money Game. It was called The Money Game.
Who did it, though?
Amazon.
Amazon?
Amazon.
So, like, Taylor was heavily featured in that documentary. And she's brilliant. Well, now they're just shifting her to be like, you do football. Because that's how important it is, and her knowledge and ability to get things like this done and operate within that entire role. So now Kiva Sowell-Cormier is back at LSU after having gone and joined Dave Aranda's staff at Baylor, and she's now back as the associate AD for NIL. So she's taking Taylor's old job as Taylor is being promoted or reassigned here, moving just toward football. So they got a great staff in place there, and onward and upward in a transformative time in college athletics. All right, it's after further review. We are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Yo, it's hot. Sitting here in this room sweating right now. If you want to make your home more energy efficient, man, a great way to invest in your home is energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows. Told you, when we moved into our current home, literally, I was 10 years ago, but one of the first things we did, I mean, quite literally in the first month we were in that home, had Brandon come out and they installed the energy-efficient, impact-resistant Stormforce windows in our big den that looks out to the pool and the water in the back of the house. And it's beautiful. They installed picture windows, so it's this big, giant open space. But with that much glass and windows, it can get very hot. So we installed the energy-efficient windows, and it keeps that room climate-controlled. Every window, they measure twice, install once, custom-made to the exact specification of your home. They're never going to be the cheapest. I tell you this all the time. They're never going to be the cheapest. So if you're just shopping price, it's not going to be Relief Windows. But if you want the best quality, the best customer service after the sale, a true lifetime transferable warranty, well, then there's only one choice. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. ReliefWindows.com. Okay, let's go quickly around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Pitcher Dane Burns is hitting the transfer portal, 6'5" sophomore from Canada. Made 14 relief appearances as a freshman in 2025, a 4.02 ERA. Doubled his workload this past year. Coming out of the bullpen, appeared in 28 games, a 234 batting average against. Dane Burns hitting the portal.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Former freshman All-American A.J. Avasco has committed to Arkansas. He's a Lincoln, Nebraska native. He played at Kansas State. Hit .348 this past season with 8 homers. He'll be a junior in 2027, but will be a draft-eligible, a draft-eligible sophomore. So keep an eye on him in this draft cycle.
Texas A&M!
Aggies have landed the top available portal player and catcher Nate Savoy. On3's number 2 overall player, chose the Aggies over Texas. Major addition behind the plate as they look to replace Bear Harrison from St. Mary's. Remember, LSU was after him a year ago. During his lone season at Clemson, catcher led the Tigers with a .329 batting average and 16 homers.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Indiana catcher transfer Braden Ricketts has picked Kentucky. Kentucky finally landed catcher after losing 3 players at the position, all to the portal here in this cycle. Redshirted in 2025, the Canada native played in 45 games this season with 43 starts.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
And on the gridiron, 2027 defensive lineman Marcellus Young-Casario has picked Georgia. He's out of the state of Georgia. 6'6" defensive lineman who's originally from Canada, a heavy Canadian influence in today's Around the SEC. Picked the Bulldogs over Georgia Tech, Michigan State, and others. He's the 16th commit for 2027. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Bunkie and below, you want a Deere, you're going to Sunshine, sunequip.com. All right, final break here of hour number 1. When we come back, one quick basketball note. Joe Lunardi has updated his off-season bracketology. What does he say about Will Wade's squad? We'll tell you next on AFR.
After further review.
Popped into Goodwood today, right there on Drusilla. Had to go pick up my new vial of BPC 157. Something I tell you about all the time. BPC 157 is a peptide. It's a pentadecapeptide. That means it's a strand of 15 different amino acids. And one of the things I got asked, I was actually walking in and ran into someone who stopped me and we're talking and asked me my thought about peptides. You're not worried about peptides? I was like, no. Actually, BPC 157 was discovered in 1993. It's been 30 years that it's been around. Now, it's just becoming mainstream, but testing and test cases have been going on for 3 decades now. And BBC 157 has been incredibly effective for me in my lower back pain. I take a very small injection in my lower back every morning, and it has been, quite honestly, life-changing. And there's so many peptides for basically anything that's going on. Mental clarity, energy, focus, sleep. Learn more. YourGoodwood.com.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because in Louisiana, toughness isn't just on the court, it's in your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our Lay of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
The experts at Hood Dental
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Look at her face. She ain't a fooling me. She thinks my tractor's sexy.
How impactful is Will Wade on the perception of LSU basketball and the interest? It is June the 16th, and I quite literally cannot remember the last time that on this show we mentioned anything in relation to LSU basketball in mid-June. Anybody, you got anything? I can't remember. Anything? Anything?
No. Portal, maybe?
Joe Lunardi has summer bracketology listed, and I was curious. He's got Florida as the top overall seed, Maryland the last team in, West Virginia the first team out. Remember, new expanded field. He's got 13 teams from the SEC and 13 from the Big Ten, 9 from the Big 12, 6 each from the ACC and the Big East. And LSU is one of the 13 teams that he has in the field. Now, squarely on the bubble does Joey Brackets have LSU. The last 4 byes, Texas A&M, Ohio State, Creighton, NC State, the last 4 in Arizona State, LSU, Clemson, and Maryland. If you're wondering, he's got Mississippi State among the first 4 out. So right there on the verge of having another team in the field, according to Lenardi. Again, remember, this is an expanded field now. But one of the things that's pretty incredible about that projection is, remember, right now, officially, LSU's only got 4 players on the team. The 4 current college basketball players that transferred in via the portal that LSU announced have signed earlier this week. All the international players, we just got to wait to see which ones actually make it to campus. So Lenardi is effectively giving Will Wade a massive benefit of the doubt while still having 11 spots unspoken for on his roster right now. I mean, provided they fill every chair. But it is a real clear indicator of the projection and the confidence that people have in Will Wade to get a team to be playing meaningful games in basketball in March. Because quite honestly, every year of his career, except his first year at LSU and they made the NIT, he's got teams that are playing meaningful basketball in March. And I think the expectation is he'll do the same in year 1 here at LSU. How about that? A little way too early bracketology from old Joey Brackets with Willie Wade's LSU among the last 4 in. All right, it's After Further Review. Tuesday shows powered by Sunshine. Sports Center's coming up. Let me get you caught up on national headlines. Come back. Giant story nationally, Brendan Sorsby. We'll talk about it next.
After Further Review.
Tuesday means Supper Club is back open. They close Sunday, Monday, but back open here on Tuesday, and an awesome opportunity to get by and try, well, anything. Look, we just spent a long weekend in Vegas, and man, you can go to Vegas. It's such an amazing food town, and you could have darn near any amazing meal, from seafood or steak or Italian, Japanese, anything. And you come home and you go to Supper Club and you realize it's every bit the world-class experience right there on Perkins Road near Bluebonnet at Supper Club that you'd have in Vegas or LA or New York or anywhere you'd go. And whatever it is, maybe it's the truffled lobster gnocchi. It's house-made gnocchi sautéed in a black truffle Parmesan cream sauce topped with a whole pound of de-shelled lobster and sprayed with truffle oil. Try it today. Find your favorite meal at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
If your office is experiencing performance issues, like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. France forward Kylian Mbappe scored his 13th World Cup goal, broke a tie with Pele, and moved into a tie for 4th most in tournament history. In its World Cup opener, France is up 2-0 on Senegal in the 95th minute. NFL, when it comes to contract negotiations between the Buccaneers and quarterback Baker Mayfield, not much has changed over the last 2 weeks, according to Mayfield himself.
Oh, pretty much the same, but for me, like I told you guys, it's not going to affect how I approach this. Things will happen when they should, but for now, I'm worried about getting better each day, finishing minicamp and this offseason program the right way, and going into training camp. So, yeah, you just handle it one day at a time.
The 31-year-old Mayfield is entering the final year of a 3-year deal. He's currently the 16th highest paid QB in the league, wants his next contract to reflect the production he's shown the last 3 years. Defensive end Cam Jordan will return for a 16th NFL season with the Saints, signed a 1-year deal. The 2026 season likely will be his final one in the league. Shortstop Cooper Pratt, the Brewers' number 4 prospect, set to make his major league debut tonight against Cleveland, less than 3 months after signing an 8-year, $50 million deal with Milwaukee.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Wednesday, Brian Windhorst dropped his top 6 storylines that already are shaping the NBA offseason. I'll tell you which one intrigues me the most. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Saints were back on the practice field today for minicamp. Mike Triplett will be here next hour. Tell us what he saw. Also react to the big news down in New Orleans, which is where we open the show today. Cam Jordan, it is official, returning to the Saints. We'll get the terms of the contract in due time, but very likely a 1-year prove-it deal. We'll see how it all plays out. We reacted to that to open the show, so if you missed it, you can catch that on demand. AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. Well, after a couple of weeks of wrangling and a very bizarre, never-ending news cycle around the Brendan Sorsby saga, the quarterback will leave Texas Tech without ever playing a game for the Red Raiders. Sorsby will, in fact, enter the NFL Supplemental Draft, ending his time at Texas Tech before he plays a game. Now, from a very selfish LSU perspective, I mean, dodged a bullet. LSU hosted Sorsby. You might remember somebody, very likely Sorsby's agent, leaked the LSU offer to Ross Dellinger, and Dellinger published it. So we know that LSU had a $5 million offer on the table for Brendan Sorsby. That you can't fake that interest. LSU made an offer to him. So disaster averted there, because if you had put all your eggs in the Sorsby basket and now he's not eligible and you're going into the season with Husan Longstreet, Landon Clark, and T. Martin's son, my goodness, all of the expectation around the season gets completely muted. So that's first and foremost, obviously. I think on one hand, it's very sad, and that I don't mean to use that term flippantly, but it is sad that it took all of the public pressure just coming down upon Texas Tech and Sorsby to force this decision, because the adults in the room couldn't acknowledge the right thing to do, or just ignored the right thing to do, and instead chose to serve their own sordid self-interests. And that's Joey McGuire trying to win football games, and that's Cody Campbell protecting his, 8-figure investment in this football roster. That's their athletic director and their president trying to protect their jobs and build the program and all that sort of stuff. And that's kind of disgusting, because nothing unifies sports fans. Nothing. Sports fans live divided. It's what makes sports great. We care that much, and as a result, remain so divided against the teams that are threats to the team we cheer for. You never have sports fans unified. And sports fans, even Twitter, were unified in this, because everyone knows, bro, you can't bet on the under on your own team. So it's very sad that the adults in the room, Joey McGuire, all of the powers that be at Texas Tech, try to piss on our head, tell us it's raining. I mean, some elite level attempted gaslighting there, and none of us bought it. So Brendan Sorsby now will go off to the NFL, and there's two components of this. It's, well, what NFL team is actually going to take a shot, and what does it mean for Texas Tech? Mike Tannenbaum was on Get Up, and of course, Mike Tannenbaum is an NFL GM with the New York Jets, so he's a good person to ask. Like, are teams actually going to be interested in Sorsby?
Yeah, agree. Here's the fun part. There could be some non-obvious ones. So you have Cleveland, the Jets, Arizona, Miami. But how about teams like Minnesota, maybe Atlanta? What about Pittsburgh? What an unexpected opportunity. If you could get past, the transgressions, you may have a young, talented quarterback for the next decade. So, look, Pittsburgh drafts Drew Aller, but, Aaron Rodgers is close to the end. So some team may be proactive, said this is an unexpected opportunity.
Again, I think it's important to remember with respect to the supplemental draft, the way that works is if a team chooses to give up a draft pick, you're effectively forfeiting that corresponding pick in next year's draft. So, for example, if in the supplemental draft, they mentioned Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wants to give up a third-round pick for Sorsby, that would, in effect, be next April's third-round pick that they would not then have in April. They're using it now on Sorsby. You might remember Terrell Pryor when he left Ohio State. You may remember that very notable supplemental draft instance where wasn't it Pittsburgh or was it the Raiders with Terrell Pryor back in 2011 used a supplemental draft pick on Terrell Pryor. So there's probably going to be a team that takes a shot. Listen, Jeff Darlington, NFL analyst, was on Get Up today as well, reacting to this, and effectively said as much.
I think it's also important. You don't have to give up a lot. You could say, hey, we'll throw a 6th round in there and see what happens. Right. Every team gets to just decide what their bid is, and then the NFL will say, this team bid the most, they get him. I mean, you're going to have teams just saying, we'll throw a flyer in there.
It's also important to remember Hunter Deckers, who's with the Saints. I mean, he lost his college eligibility and had to go play in a lower classification, not affiliated with the NCAA, and ultimately got a chance. I mean, the Saints gave him a chance. So someone is going to give Brendan Sorsby a chance. Now, how good is Sorsby? How does he project to the next level? That kind of remains to be seen. He was clearly one of the more sought-after players in the portal. He threw for 27 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions a season ago at Cincinnati. It's also fair to mention Cincinnati lost out in the month of November last year. I don't know that you put that entirely on Sorsby's shoulders, but, I mean, he did have a touchdown and a pick in a loss to Utah, a touchdown and 2 picks in the loss to Arizona. He had 2 touchdowns and a pick in the loss to BYU. And then in the finale against TCU, he did throw for 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. So I don't know that you necessarily put that on, but they lost 45-23. So how much is he absolved from that losing streak? I don't know. NFL teams can make that decision. But Sorsby will have an opportunity to go play at the next level. I mean, there's also, of course, the component of this about his eligibility in the NFL, and this is something that, of course, that Kayshon Boutte faced, where, remember, Boutte had the situation where he was involved in a situation where he was gambling during his time at LSU and was not suspended by the NFL. He was drafted by the Patriots, and when the announcement of the allegations, were levied, and Kayshon was arrested for underage gambling. I mean, he had 8,900 gambling wagers while he was in college. 6 of them involved LSU football, and he was underage when he made those bets. So Brendan Sorsby here. So it'll be interesting to see, but it's Boutte. Kayshon was charged with a crime. Louisiana, the state, ended up dropping the charges in July of 2024, and then the NFL chose not to punish Kayshon Boutte. So I guess the point is there is precedent there to say that Sorsby may not face punishment from the NFL. Now, my guess is most people here probably care far less about whatever happens with Sorsby in the NFL, unless he ends up at the Saints or someplace like that would directly impact the team that you care, or a rival for a team you care about. And probably more so care about how this impacts college football, because Brendan Sorsby and Texas Tech were a heavy favorite to win the Big 12. And, of course, if you win the Big 12, then you're going to be in the college football playoff, just like Sorsby and Texas Tech were, well, not Sorsby, Texas Tech was this past year. And they played Miami and didn't score. But now you look at no Sorsby. What does that mean for the Big 12 odds? Well, Bovada updated odds today. We have this up at louisianasports.net for free if you want to check it out. But it's so interesting because this really speaks to what Ari Temkin said on our show yesterday from Big 12 Radio. As I asked Ari Temkin, who benefits the most from Sorsby? And at the time, we didn't know if Sorsby was going to be eligible or not, if he was going to play or not. But I said, who benefits the most if Sorsby doesn't play? And his answer was Texas Tech, oddly enough. And his rationale was, this is a massive distraction. If Sorsby's not there, it means Texas Tech gets to move forward, clearing the deck, knowing who they're going forward with. And I'll be darned, the updated odds here for the Big 12 still have Texas Tech as not only a favorite, but a massive favorite to win the Big 12. Texas Tech at -105. BYU is next at +650. If you don't bet, what that means is if you pick Texas Tech to win the Big 12, you'd have to bet $105 to win 100. If you pick BYU, who's second, if you bet 100, you'd win 650. So Texas Tech, even without Sorsby, is a massive favorite still to win the Big 12. Now, maybe the better question is, let's look at the national championship odds and see how those might be altered, because maybe Texas Tech's roster, even with a different quarterback, is still plenty good enough to win the Big 12. What about how they might or might not be able to compete in the college football playoff? That's a big-time question, and we'll continue to keep an eye on that as it evolves. But Brendan Sorsby, out. He'll enter the supplemental draft and will not play at Texas Tech this season. All right, it's after further review. Frog in my throat. Sip of Evan Moore. Excuse me. Mentioned it yesterday. Shout out to Dallas Love Field, the airport there in Dallas. Walking to our gate on Sunday, we went from Vegas to Dallas to New Orleans. And as I'm walking through the terminal there toward our gate, I noticed one of the little, they had little kiosk setups where you can get your chips and your candy or Coke or water, whatever. They had Evermore. You know what? MSY, I see no Evermore in your airport. BTR, didn't see no Evermore in your airport. We need to fix that problem pronto. What are we doing here? Got a great Louisiana product. Natural artesian water, spring water straight from the source. Let's get that done. Let's expose the world who fly through our great cities to the wonderment of Evermore. EVAMOR. You can buy yours online at evermore.com, evermore.com, or get it at great local retailers. If you're not sure where to find it, you can go to the little hamburger menu there at the top of the website. Find a store, type in your zip code, and just like that, boom, you'll see exactly where you can find Evermore. EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. You can buy it online as well if you just hit the Buy Now tab at evermore.com. EVAMOR, evermore.com. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Mike Triplett in 1 hour from right now. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Mike will be with us. Tell us what he saw at Saints Minicamp. Let's hear from Cam Jordan, who met with reporters earlier today, announcing his return to New Orleans for a 16th season with the Saints. We'll get to it next here. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you're looking to hire, Glow Resources can help. Hard to believe, y'all. My goodness. We're already into Q3. I mean, 2026 is halfway over. That's insane. If you want to finish the year strong, coming out of vacation, coming out of summer months, you want to get into the fall and make sure you are queued up, teed up, and ready to have the most productive, strongest finish to the year, Glow Resources can help. You need the right people. You need the right people and the right seats on the bus. And there's nobody better at helping you find the right people for the right job, skilled blue-collar labor or any office job. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online at GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. Complete employer solutions, permanent employer solutions, GLO, glowresources.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
Man, I love telling you every day about River Parish Contractors. I'm bullish telling you about River Parish Contractors because, man, they're a great industrial contractor, but they're also great people. And they are looking for people to join their team over at River Parish Contractors. If you're interested, if you're looking for work, if you're just looking for a better opportunity to support your family, to work at a better place, man, you got to get in touch with Big Jake over at River Parish Contractors. Right now, they're looking for pipe tackers, pipe fitters, 7-10 schedule. Obviously, you want to go see the qualifications. They got them. They're up at their Facebook page, their social media. You can go to the website, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com. But overtime is available, paid time off, great benefits, and they're local, so you're home every night. River Parish Contractors.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Did you seriously consider it like any other offer?
No. I would not. Why would you? No, I would never.
Cam Jordan meeting with reporters on the day that it's announced that he's coming back to New Orleans for his 16th season. We opened the show today with a full reaction to Cam returning. If you want to catch that, it's on demand, AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. YouTube podcast, you can go catch that. But just, to very quickly summarize, I think Cam Jordan's decision to return is very smart by both Cam and the Saints. Cam, with the humility to return to a place that didn't give him the offer he wants, despite the fact that he has given them so much over a decade and a half, but acknowledging this is his opportunity to continue playing and to play at a place that means a lot to him. And for the Saints, they deserve a ton of credit for being fiscally responsible and sticking to their number, which oddly they always do in free agency. And all of the cap hell and fiscal irresponsibility came in the way they would restructure contracts. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that, a lot of times you give bad contracts initially and then need to restructure. In any event, Cam Jordan is returning. This is official. Cam meeting with reporters on Tuesday and talked about what the deciding factor was for him to return to New Orleans.
The dad, like I said about 2 weeks ago, he's like, "Hey, man, you're affecting our lives here." I was like, "Oh no, I did not know that. I could have sworn us moving to Arizona it would have been the same everyday routine." But no, that'd be the final part. When you look at these, 4 beautiful kids growing up, their whole lives have been here, so they don't know how not to carry on. And when you had that conversation, I was like, "All right, let me just humble myself here and let's get this done," which is awesome because I've got so much intended for this city with this upcoming year.
I love that he used the word. He said, "Let me humble myself." And it was the first thing I thought. Literally, the note that I wrote down was, good for Cam for accepting reality and having humility to return. And he said he used the word. It'd be so easy for Cam Jordan to say, "Man, 15 years going to the Hall of Fame, and I'm going to get a prove-it deal." It would have been so easy for him to walk away, to say no thanks. But more to do, which was great to see. He was also asked point blank if this is going to be his last season in the NFL.
I don't ever want to do this again. This whole offseason, I just told Kai, I was like, I don't like this. This, yeah. So we're going to take it. We're going to take everything the way we want to. Year 16, how many more years do you want me to play? Like, what do you want from me? I definitely am going to take to this like every game is my last to ever play. And I'm going to be, like I said, overly appreciative of all my teammates. I'm overly blessed and excited to be back with the team. I can't wait for summer camp.
We have seen so many instances in the NFL of guys late in their career taking an opportunity to ring chase. And I, that has a negative connotation, and I do not mean it that way. It's basically what Ndamukong Suh did at the end of his career, and it worked. Andrew Whitworth. Andrew Whitworth was a all-decade team member on a bunch of bad teams in Cincinnati, and he went to the Rams and won a Super Bowl. J.J. Watt tried to do it. Left Houston, went to Arizona to give it a go. Didn't work. That's okay. It happens. Look, it happens in every sport. Karl Malone did it. Gary Payton. They went to try to build that super team in L.A. with the Lakers and lost in the finals to the Pistons in 2004. It happens in every. So It would have been totally understandable if Cam Jordan would have gone to the Eagles or the Chiefs or the Bills or the 49ers or a team that is a legitimate, the Seahawks, that you might consider a legitimate contender. And he was asked, why? Well, why not go join a contender and try to chase a ring in your final season?
One, because they're all cold. Ew. And two, I mean, when you look at our roster, you see the growth, you see the development, you see Tyler Shuck, you look at CO, you see the explosiveness of a Jordan Tyson, you see how Devon Valet was playing last year, you see Jawan Taylor, we bring in some WWE kids. I mean, I just think there's so much talent on the roster itself.
He didn't really answer the question per se. And I would love to know what opportunities might have been there for Cam in other places. But one of the things I remember before the 2024 season, right when the Super Bowl was in New Orleans, and, Cam was asked a similar question. And his response, I'm paraphrasing, was something to the effect of, why not us? Let's play Super Bowl in our building. And I don't think there was a soul that believed that was a realistic possibility. With Derek Carr as the quarterback and Dennis Allen as the coach and all this stuff. And there's part of me that respects so much an athlete's mentality that believes they're going to win every time they play. Because I think you kind of have to have that to be great. You're not going to win every time you play, as we know, but you got to have that belief that you're going to. That's how you end up as the basketball player that wants the ball in his hands for the final shot every single time, knowing you're not going to make every one, but you want it in your hand every time. That's how you're the slugger who wants to be at the plate in the bottom of the ninth with 2 out, down 1 with runners on second and third, and you need a knock to win this game. And you believe you're going to get it, even though you're going to fail 70% of the time. So part of me respects the fact that throughout his career, Cam Jordan has been that guy. The guy who has consistently said, why not us? And he's still saying it there. But at this point in his life, going into his age 37 season and understanding what the Saints have been and are right now, they are a building team. They are not a contending team. He's been on a contending team. He played with a Hall of Fame quarterback, and he got to an NFC Championship game, and they got Nola no-called. This is not a contending team today. 2-3 years, maybe. Really good young core. If they keep developing, they could be. This is what a rebuild looks like, but he's smack dab in the middle of it. It was interesting because on the day that Cam announced his return, the Saints also had minicamp practice, and Kellen Moore met with reporters before practice, so before Cam's announcement. And Kellen was asked about the other defensive ends that they brought in. Remember, the Saints added Tyree Wilson and Anthony Jennings this offseason when it looked like Cam wasn't coming back. And Kellen Moore, that's a 7, had this to say about those 2 edge rushers coming in.
I think Jennings, Tyree, to onboard those guys who've played a lot of football in this league that are still relatively young, that will be able to contribute in a really positive way for us. And so, I think those guys have really big-time experience. And, I think that depth of that group obviously has been increased. And I think that's going to be to our advantage, the versatility that group has to be able to rotate those guys, but also play multiple guys and really put a stress on the offense.
I'm going to be so interested to see what the numbers are that they keep in that room. Because, look, Chase Young, Carl Granderson, Cam Jordan, Anthony Jennings, Tyree Wilson, that's 5. Are you keeping all 5 of those guys on your active roster? I don't know. It'd be fascinating to see how that room shakes out in training camp. Moore had a little bit more about Tyree Wilson, who, remember, is a former top 10 overall pick, now trying to find that resurgence in his second act in his career.
I thought he had an awesome offseason. He's been a sponge as far as just absorbing all the information. I mean, he's getting to be coached by Jay Rodgers, one of the best in the league, and learn all the techniques and all the fundamentals there. And then I think what's cool is just to see him hopping in on every possible opportunity on special teams. Like, hey, where can I learn something? Where can I find a potential role as we go? That's awesome, because a lot of times these guys, they have these opportunities and maybe it goes a certain way or not a certain way. And hey, I'm just going to keep finding opportunities. And I think that special teams embrace is an important part of this.
Love that, man. Former top 10 pick, even embracing special teams on a way that he's going to be able to impact this team. It was an interesting day there in New Orleans, sort of marrying the old and the new. And one farewell, as Kellen Moore was asked today about the offense without Taysom, and effectively confirmed what we all know.
Is there still a possibility to get something done with Taysom, or at this point is that door closed?
We haven't necessarily had any conversations up to this point, but you never know.
If you haven't even had a conversation at this point, you kind of know. And I think we all knew when Taysom was emotional leaving the field for the final time, and we all know what it is. So, in some ways, the end of an era. In other ways, a renewal or continuation of an era. And in many ways, brand new. So, interesting time over there on Airline Drive. All right, it's after further review. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Hey, I want to remind you about Rouse's. Father's Day is this weekend. And if you love hand-cut steaks at Rouse's, they're in-store butchers. Hand-cut meats to order. They fresh grind their beef daily, so if you want patties for burgers this weekend. They also make signature sausages and their Cajun specialties right in store. So this weekend, Father's Day, like I know a lot of times, Dad, you don't want to cook on Father's Day, but sometimes you don't trust anybody else on the grill. And if you just want to go get a big tomahawk ribeye or some burgers to throw on the pit, man, get by Rouse's and go check out their in-store butchers over there at any of the Rouse's locations. They got 76 of them, from Lake Charles to Orange Beach and points in between. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. All right, y'all, it is after further review, halfway home here on this Tuesday edition of AFR. It's really interesting. Musil do Tigers and the Pros in about 15 minutes, and I do want to circle back at the top of hour 3, so about 30 minutes from right now, straight up 5 o'clock Central. I want to give you some thoughts on LSU's newest running back commit, Trey Segura. But let me break. When we come back, it's really premature to start talking about the 2027 draft. But it's interesting because ESPN has their positional rankings for the 27 draft, which is something they'll update throughout the year. But I think this does speak very loudly about this LSU football roster for 26 and how they've built it. I'll explain what I mean. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You know what to do. Get Gordon. Get it done. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Gordon McKernan and his team are just awesome, man. And you can go to the website and see actual client testimonials, successes that Gordon and his team of attorneys have had representing people in Louisiana, recovering more than $3 billion in damages over the time that they've been in business. And yours could be next. And it's so cool to always see these real case testimonials. There's one attorney, Justin Glendon Hammond, recovered $982,000 as part of a big truck wreck. Auto accidents, workers' compensation, so many different types of cases that Gordon and his team can handle. You want the best? Don't go it alone. You know what to do. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make First American a household name. And people look at us and say, hey, what's special about you guys? You're part of a family.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey,
You know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
We ride back and forth till we run out of light. Take it to the barn, put it up for the night. Climb up in the loft, sit and talk with the radio.
Travis Tritt. So good.
Travis Tritt's great. This is not him though.
Clint Black.
Another good one. Just not this one.
Yep. Oh, the man in black, Johnny Cash. That's who that is.
I mean, legend.
So
but
good.
No, not him.
Love that Jason Aldean.
No, it's not him. No. He had a different song about a tractor, actually.
I didn't know that.
He did.
Who's the guy that my niece likes so much? Shout out Reese Anderman. The guy who played in Tiger Stadium. That a lot of people think's an a-hole.
Oh, Zach Bryan.
Him. Zach Bryan.
No.
No?
Completely different sound. Yeah.
Oh. The one that's married to Gwen Stefani.
Luke
Bryan.
Blake Shelton.
Oh, well, who's Luke Bryan?
Luke Bryan's another. Well, if we want to call
he's
him
the
a
one who
country.
sings this song.
No.
Oh.
No. He's a judge on American Idol.
Luke Bryan?
Luke Bryan.
I thought that was Blake Shelton.
No. Blake Shelton's on one of those different talent shows.
He was on The Voice, and that's how he met Gwen Stefani.
The Voice. There it is. Look at this.
Wait.
You put it together. That did happen, I think.
Oh, wait. The guy in The Voice with Carrie Underwood and Lionel Richie is the country guy?
That's American Idol.
Yeah.
And Luke Bryan's on there.
That's him.
That's him.
Weird. Well, shout out to all the farmers that are heading to the Farm Bureau Conference in New Orleans. Sunshine will be down there. They can't wait to see everybody down there in NOLA this week. Sunequip.com, sunequip.com. Go get you a tractor or a zero-turn mower, a gator. Look, tailgating season's right around the bend. Walk into any of the Sunshine stores. They got your portable generators. You need your portable generator for your tailgate, your fans, all that stuff. Sunshine, they got you. Bunky and below. Sunequip.com, sunequip.com. Okay. I am not going to, on June the 16th, start breaking down the 2027 NFL draft. I have no desire to do that. I think oftentimes when people put out way too early mock drafts and stuff, they end up looking foolish because, you end up like with Brady Quinn as the number 2 pick in the draft or something like that. Whatever the case may be. What is interesting is I do like to get scouts' perspective on players. This is in any sport. What is scouts who are looking at prospects and projectability to the next level, which doesn't always indicate success at the college level, but what do scouts think about prospects? And so Jordan Reed and Matt Miller, 2 ESPN draft analysts, have put out their top 5 at every position for the 2027 draft. So naturally, I'm just going to scroll through and look for the LSU guys. So there's a few things that just really jump off the page. They start with the offense. No Sam Levitt. Coming off a tough injury, I kind of get it a little bit. That's one that could change. Running back, no running backs. I don't know which running back would be. Harlan Berry's not draft eligible. Certainly don't think Caden Durham going into his junior season would be a top 5 running back in this year's draft. Receivers, LSU added 9 of them via the portal, but no receivers among the top 5, which actually kind of is indicative of what we know, right? Lane Kiffin said it point blank that, when he talked about the cap for each position group and how they looked at receiver, and they said, they feel like they're better go in numbers and hope that 4 to 6 of them emerge instead of putting all your cap into one guy. So instead of going after Coleman from Auburn, let him go to Texas and let them spend a bunch of money. LSU go get 9 guys and hope 4 to 6 of them emerge and you have great depth. Okay, different approach. We don't think those are projectable guys. Fine. Tight end, naturally, Trey'Dez Green. Both have Trey'Dez as the number 2 tight end behind Jamari Johnson from Oregon. That was to be expected. Offensive tackle, both have Jordan Seaton as the number 2 offensive tackle behind Trevor Gooseby from Texas. I think that's expected as well. No offensive guards, not a surprise. A little surprised not seeing Braylon Moore among the top centers. However, Jordan Reed did list Braylon Moore as the player outside of the top 5 to watch, noting he spent 3 years at Virginia Tech. He was the most consistent blocker at LSU a season ago, 36 career starts. Could be a day 3 guy from NFL evaluators. I like that. So on offense, Trey'Dez Green, Jordan Seaton, and a little bit of an asterisk next to Braylon Moore. That's it. So basically 2.5 guys, basically. Defense, edge rushers. Nope. A little surprised not to see Prince Willimon Mielen on that list. Defensive tackle? Nope. Linebacker. I want to remind you that Whit Weeks will be a senior in this draft. And LSU also now has the guy who led the SEC in tackles a year ago, TJ Daugherty, in that linebacker core. Neither one on this list. Cornerback? Nope. Now, DJ Pickett next year will be all over this, but PJ Woodland right now, nope. Safety, they both have Ty Benefield on the list. Matt Miller has Ty Benefield, the number 3 safety. Jordan Reed has Benefield, the number 5 safety. So, if you're scoring at home, this $40+ million roster that LSU has put together, when you look at draft analysts and what they think about it, there's basically consensus that Trey'Dez Green and Jordan Seaton are really good. Braylon Moore could be a day 3 pick. And Ty Benefield on defense is special, and I think has a potential to have a monster year and be a high draft pick. Other than that, so one of two things is true. Either we are massively overhyping this LSU team, or they're going to prove a lot of people wrong this fall. Now, I don't know what the truth is and where reality will be. But one thing I'll tell you that strictly through an LSU lens does make me very encouraged is when you're looking at lists like this, you're not keeping Jordan Seaton or Trey'Dez Green for another year. Like, they're gone. And should be, by the way. And then you have guys like Braylon Moore and Whit Weeks who will be out of eligibility. But all the other position groups, when you don't see them projected high in the NFL draft, there's a greater argument to be made to returning to school, which is what you're seeing now, which I think is actually making the college game better because you have guys trying to stay because they're making more in college. So you're seeing more guys playing their 4th, 5th, sometimes 6 years in college because they can make more money. And so you're having guys stay as opposed to dudes that just, remember back in the day when you'd have all the hats lined up and guys sitting at the table and say, for the next 3 to 4 years, like guys basically in high school declaring they're going to be leaving early for the NFL without having taken the snap in college. Well, like now, for the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, if I can get it and the judge grants me an injunction, but like it makes sense though. Thank you. But I think all of that continues to underscore how Kiffin and Glasscock are building this roster. They're not looking to overspend on guys that are going to bounce, unless if you have a Jordan Seaton. Plug and play, mercenary, 1 year, elite left tackle, massive position of need, premium position. Okay, I'll spend there. Everywhere else, find dudes that are really good players that fit what you want to do that are going to hang around through their 3rd, 4th, 5th year in college and get better as a result of it. I think this is another piece of evidence sort of pointing to that direction and how they're building this roster. I think this recruiting class really kind of illustrates that as well. All right, it's after further review. We're brought by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online, southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Thursday, I was over at South Point. Got my new whip. Excited about it. Does it lose cool factor when I say got my new whip?
100%, yes.
What about if I say got my nay-nay?
That makes it even worse.
Got my whip and my nay-nay?
Makes it even worse.
Watch me whip. Now watch me nay-nay.
That's the song.
You weren't even alive when that song came out.
Yeah, I was.
I was whipping and nay-naying over at Fred's back in the day. You were still in diapers. Your mom needed to wipe your behind when the whip and the nay-nay was popping off.
That's not. No,
that is true.
That's not true.
That is a stone cold fact.
No, it's not.
Also a stone cold fact. South Point Volkswagen is awesome. Got my Volkswagen Cross Sport. Second one, black Volkswagen Cross Sport. I went from the Atlas to the Atlas Cross Sport to another Atlas Cross Sport. The Atlas is the 3-row, 7-seater family SUV. Had that. Realized I didn't need the 3rd row. So I got the Cross Sport, which takes out the 3rd row, a little shorter, same great features, technology, stylish, awesome. Find your new ride over at South Point Volkswagen. Shop online, work out financing, all that stuff. southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, it's after further review. We're going to knock out a quick break. We'll come back and muse through Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. A Renaissance Baton Rouge right there on Bluebonnet, as they're fond of saying, Southtown. Easy access to I-10, which means if you're in town for an event, maybe a football game coming up this fall, Renaissance Baton Rouge, awesome place to stay because easy access to I-10, right, so you can get anywhere in town quickly. Right across from the mall in Perkins Row, so great dining options or shopping. Actually, just down the street from Supper Club as well, just saying. And, look, it's where LSU stays the night before home football games. Easy access to I-10 so you can get to Tiger Stadium or whatever you might be heading toward. A great place to hold an event. Maybe you have a business meeting in conjunction with a game or an event in town. You can rent out the boardrooms for 12 people, the ballroom up to 500 people. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge. Right there on Bluebonnet. Check them out. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
If your office is experiencing performance performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files? Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. LSU got a running back commit earlier today. Trey Segura picked the Tigers. He's out of South Carolina. Shea was with us in hour 1, kind of gave us a little bit of a rundown. I'll give you some thoughts on that. The running back room as a whole in a dozen minutes from right now. But right now, Musso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Awesome moment late in the game between the Twins and the Rangers on Monday night. Josh Smith emerged from the Rangers dugout for his first plate appearance and at bat since May 3rd. It has been a long 6 weeks for the former Tiger. A glute injury initially sent him to the injured list, and then Smith was hospitalized with a bout of viral meningitis. Back in the lineup tonight, so that's the good thing. He returned, went 0 for 1, but back in the lineup tonight. He'll get his first start since early May as well. Hit 7th and play second base. Clap it up, yeah.
Let's go. Let's go, babe.
Absolutely.
Let's go, babe. Come on, Smitty. We got you, babe.
Dylan Cruz. No.
That'd have been good.
Man, goodness gracious. 1 for 4 last night.
We're doing pretty good without it.
I mean, yeah, I think it's going okay. 1 for 4
I
last
lost count.
night.
Use how many consecutive state championships for the Bears now? Is that 3? And a national championship?
I'm going to be honest.
I
don't know.
It's 3.
Okay. It's 3
straight and a natty.
And a natty. 1 for 4 last night for Cruz.
Lock it up.
He went big fly to left field. His 4th home run of the season. A 3-run shot for Cruz, carrying a 5-game hitting streak into tonight's matchup with the Royals. And then a couple former Tigers, Rockies and Cubs. Bregman, another 2 for 4 night, back-to-back times. Both of those singles. Did draw a walk as well. No. Not Catholic High for Bregman. And then Jaden Hill for the Rockies. Through 2/3 of an inning, walked.
No.
Where was Jaden Hill from? Is he from Texas? I don't remember. Anyway.
Doesn't really say here.
Two-thirds. It doesn't really say. 2/3 of an inning to walk, 2 punch-outs.
I can't find it.
No hits, no runs. That's Tigers and the Pros.
Presented by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com. I don't know if you noticed, but actually in our parish construction and roofing roof text earlier today, got forwarded, there's a tropical cyclone or something that's threatening the area, whatever. Bottom line is this. It's storm season. Hurricane season starts June 1st. Reality of living here is that storms come. We hope they don't. We hope that they spare us and everyone is safe. The reality is storms happen and power outages happen. So you need to be prepared. The time to start thinking about that is not when there's a storm in the Gulf. At that point, it's too late. This is the time to call Arco Power Systems now to be proactive. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com. Industrial Generac generator power. It's a standby generator for your business, your commercial, industrial facility. Power goes out, what happens to your business? Don't find out. Let Arco Power Systems help. Everything is turnkey. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us. Remember, you can email us, tweet us, or text the show, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Oh, it keeps happening. I keep meaning to go back to this. On my text line, when I get the text from people.
What we got?
Patrick, it's up to you. Just trying to give you some time for dinner and all.
Thanks, Patrick.
Appreciate that. It's really kind of you, Patrick.
It's like a steak, Pat.
Yeah, it's really good. They keep coming in all the time. It's so funny. When people just text me random things because they don't realize they're texting my text line. They think they're texting their wife or something. Keep it clean. Hour 3 next.
AFR.
Hey, we're brought to you by Parish Restoration. I just was talking about it being storm season, and obviously, I was at the doctor today, and I could sit in the doctor's office. I could hear the rain just pounding outside. It feels like that's a daily occurrence now. Well, I say it often to you that we live in the mold capital of the world because it's wet and humid, and that is a breeding ground for mold, water, and humidity. So if you have mold or think you might, Parish Restoration can help. It's actually really scary sometimes when they'll go into these buildings or homes, office complexes, and you start to cut back on some of the sheetrock or you pull out some of the insulation, you just see black mold in the wall. And you don't even know it's there. But it can be a health hazard, obviously, and you want to get rid of that. So if you have mold or think you might, Parish Restoration can help. ParishRestoration.com for that free estimate. ParishRestoration.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. France got a pair of goals from superstar Kylian Mbappe in its World Cup opener, a 3-1 win over Senegal. With his 14th goal, he moved into a tie for third in all-time World Cup scoring. As talks continue to heat up for Giannis Antetokounmpo, sources tell ESPN's Jamal Collier teams are preparing for the Bucks to trade the two-time NBA MVP within the next week. Heat and Celtics most engaged in discussions. Miami is the favorite, but don't count out Boston, explains Collier.
Giannis still has one guaranteed year remaining on his contract. That makes his sway and his decision of where he would sign an extension very important throughout this process. And it's why the Boston Celtics are still very much alive and expect to be an active player in this as well, because sources have indicated that Giannis would sign an extension to remain in Boston.
Chiefs receiver Rashee Rice released from a Dallas County jail today after serving a 30-day sentence for violating terms of his probation, which stemmed from his role in a 2024 car crash that left multiple people injured on a Texas highway. He is expected to report in time for next month's training camp.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Talk to Mike Triplett here in about a dozen minutes from right now. Saints re-signed Cam Jordan. First day of the mandatory minicamp was today. So we'll get Mike's thoughts on that coming up in just a little bit. By the way, we also do have updated college football conference championship odds. Notably, you would think the Big 12 would have shifted with the Brendan Sorsby news. We'll get into all that coming up here at the bottom of this hour. Okay. Lane Kiffin and this LSU staff, they are on a heater. It was really quiet around recruiting leading up into June, where they had just 4 commits for the class of 2027. And now all of a sudden, kaboom. A couple of weekends ago, they doubled that number in a span of 4 hours. On Monday, they added 2 offensive linemen. And here on Tuesday, it sounded like this when 4-star running back Trey Segura committed to the Tigers.
For the next 3 or 4 years, I'll be continuing my academic
an athletic career at the Louisiana State.
Trey Segura dropped to 3 to 4 years, and the Louisiana State University on his commitment. At least he spared us a taking my talents too. Or did he say taking my talents too?
Oh Lord, I don't
Play
think he did.
Play.
For the next 3 or 4 years, I'll be continuing my academic.
Okay. Good. Continuing. Good. LeBron changed the world with the decision in 2010.
He ruined it for everybody.
Well, nobody ever said taking my talents to until LeBron said it on the decision in 2010, and now that's become a very familiar part of our vernacular, taking my talents to. In any event, Trey Segura picks the Tigers. This was on the Rivals YouTube channel, by the way. He did talk about why he chose LSU.
Yeah, so throughout my recruitment, you hear these stories about people who've gone through it in the past, and they're like, you go on your OV, and you'll find this place, you'll go to this school, and they'll be like, wow, now you'll know that's the place. And that's kind of how it was. LSU hadn't been recruiting me the longest, but when I got on campus and met Coach Smith and Coach Kiffin, I was like, it was just kind of the people in the area. I was like, wow, this is what I want to be a part of. This is the culture that I want to help to build.
Love to hear that, man. And Trey Segura, make no mistake, is an elite running back commitment. And I think this commitment, coupled with Brendan Lacey, who's already committed, and the fact that LSU is still hard after Trey Martin in the state of Louisiana, speaks volumes about the future of the running back position, which we're going to get to here in just a quick second. First, the thumbnail on Trey Segura. 5'10", 210 pounds. He's out of Duncan, South Carolina. In the Rivals industry ranking, he's the number 143 prospect. So he's a top 150 player regardless of position. He's the number 7 running back. Both Rivals and 24/7 rank him as the 7th best running back in the country. ESPN has him as the 15th best running back. So no matter how you look at it, this is a guy with a ton of big-time program national interest. Say oftentimes, less concerned with the ranking and star rating. I'm way more concerned with who is recruiting you. Well, man, you look at the teams that have offered Trey Segura: LSU, Tennessee, Clemson, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Stanford, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, Penn State, Duke, Texas A&M, Michigan, Vanderbilt, Florida State. You get it. Syracuse, Boston College, Maryland. I mean, he's got major offers up and down the list. So big time prospect. I also think it is really interesting because of the way we've talked about how Kiffin and Glasscock are building this roster. I'm going to spare you the cut that I so often play, but I'll paraphrase it from Lane Kiffin in spring, where effectively he said, challenge our guy to evaluate character. Because most freshmen come here, it doesn't go well, and they leave. So we're not going to pay guys to come sit for a year and leave. So the guys they're going to pay are elite level dudes that are coming into play, or guys that it's not going to cost you anything to get them here, and they're good character guys that they think have a high ceiling. They're going to come, wait, stay, and develop. Now, you look at Trey Segura, he is the former, not the latter. He is a top 150 player in the country. He is a top 10 running back. That is a dude that could have gone anywhere in the country and does not expect to sit and wait his turn. Trey Segura is 5'10", 210 pounds, and he expects to go play as a freshman wherever he goes. And clearly, that's LSU. The reason that is interesting to me is because LSU returns Harlem Berry and Caden Durham, the top 2 rushers from this past year, and then they went out and added 4 running backs via the transfer portal. So the fact that they went and added 4 running backs via the portal, returned their top 2 guys, they got 6 running backs on the roster for 2026, and all 6 of them have eligibility beyond 26, meaning all 6 could be back for the 2027 season. But LSU's already got Lacey committed. Now they've got Segura committed, and they're still going after Trey Martin, who he also is a top 10 running back in the country that many people at Franklin Parish Winsboro think is ultimately going to pick LSU. Well, you are loaded at that position. There is no reality where you're going to add 3 high school running backs to a group that already has 6. You're not going into 27 with 9 scholarship running backs. So I think adding a guy like Trey Segura is a very, very clear message that they don't like their running back room. And they're looking for guys that can come in 27 and help immediately. Now, Harlem Berry is former 5-star. And LSU is paying Harlem Berry a high 6-figure number this year in Baton Rouge for his sophomore year. And my hope is that Harlem Berry follows a track like Kewan Lacey. I'm not telling you Harlem Berry is going to run for 1,500 yards and be an All-American. But but Kewan Lacey, as a freshman at Missouri, had 23 rushing attempts. Let me say that again slowly. Kewan Lacey at Missouri had 23 rushing attempts as a freshman. Transfers to Ole Miss, boom, 300 carries, 1,500 yards, All-American in this offense. My hope, I'm sure it's the hope of the staff as well, that's what Harlem Berry does this year. And we've gone over this a million times. 6 years at Ole Miss, all but 1 year, Lane Kiffin as a bell cow. A bell cow runner, the quarterback is the second leading rusher, and then they have another guy who gets some supplemental carries. I think this is really easy. Harlem Berry's the bell cow. Quarterback Sam Levitt will be the second leading rusher. And the guy who's next is Dylan Jones. By the way, Dylan Jones is the Wisconsin transfer. And in a spring practice that by and large was dominated by the offense, he was the newcomer standout. Lane Kiffin said as much in spring.
He looks really good, has come in and been good in protection, been good in his vision, his feet, running the ball, and has been really a bright spot. Like I said, where offensively we've struggled to find those. And obviously, again, the tackling part, is a difference in that position specifically. But for a guy that wasn't a headliner, he's played like it. And that's really critical because that spot is extremely critical to have somebody or a number of people that, again, just like the quarterback spot, makes the plays when everybody's not blocked up and makes the significant plays. And he's done that.
They like him a lot, Dylan Jones. And Dylan Jones is a redshirt sophomore this year, so he's in his third year. So he got 2 years of eligibility remaining. My point is, I think you go into this year, Berry is your guy. Levitt's going to be your number 2 rusher. Your quarterback's going to be the second leading rusher. And then I think Dylan Jones is the other guy that's going to play a ton. He's going to block. He can catch the ball, short yardage, all that sort of stuff. Everybody else, I think their future on the roster is in question. And the fact that you look at Dylan Jones, and Dylan Jones is 5'11", 211. You look at Trey Segura, who's now committed, 5'10", 210. I think it speaks to what they're looking for. You got the explosive guy in Berry. What you need is the big physical thumper who can block and all that stuff as well. Everybody, and by the way, if there was a next guy, I would say it was Stacey Gage, the Central Florida transfer. He's 5'10", 206. Rod Gainey, 5'9", 183. Racine Guillory, 5'10", 179. Caden Durham, 5'9", 200. Smaller guys that aren't as explosive as Harlem Berry. So I think what this staff is showing you, not what they're saying, what they're showing you is coming out of spring in those 15 practices, they were not impressed with this running back room. And the fact that all those guys have eligibility remaining doesn't matter a lick. They're going for numbers to fortify that room because a lot of those dudes aren't going to be back. I think Berry will be back for his junior year. I think they'd love for Dylan Jones, if he continues on this trajectory, would be back. But they need to build that room behind those guys, and that's what they're looking to do here with guys that might be able to make an impact immediately. And Trey Segura, I think, is one of them. I mean, he's a top 10 running back in the country. And as we have very clearly identified, this staff is not paying freshmen to come and sit. They're just not going to invest money in players that are not going to play. You want to come and wait your turn and grow and develop? Awesome. You're a good character guy that wants to do that, fits the culture, and you're willing to come in and wait and learn? Okay. That's not Trey Segura. I'm not saying Trey Segura is not a character guy. What I'm saying is he's a highly rated enough guy with enough options that he's not going somewhere to sit. And he's certainly not going anywhere for free. So if you're going to pay him, you're going to expect him to play. And I think that's also an indicator of maybe the reality facing a lot of these guys whenever the season is over at running back. Trey Segura, the 11th commit for LSU's 2027 class. Okay, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, locations all over South Louisiana, including Burbank, where I had a chance to visit with Danny Klein, the manager over there at Burbank, who was a pleasure to visit with him. He's certainly a rising star in that industry.
Well, when I first got in, I didn't know nothing about cars. I could put a spare tire on and check my oil level. As time go on, I learned the ins and outs of what each part of a component of a vehicle does. That grew my interest. The guy I had at my first store I ever worked at said you have a little insight, you can fast track you up front. You got the persona. So I like dealing with customers, helping take care of their issues, making sure they're safe on the road, and it just stuck with me.
Another indication why Shaw Bills is a great place to work. They get guys who and ladies who come work at Shaw Bills, and they stay and they grow and they advance in their careers. And now Danny's running one of the bigger stores in the company there on Burbank. It was such a pleasure to go visit with him last week. Go see Danny Klein at the Burbank store or pop into any Shaw Bills location near you. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. And, of course, they'll keep you coming back because they treat you like family. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, we keep you rolling. Okay, knock out a quick break, y'all. Mike Triplett is going to be here when we come back. He'll react to Cam Jordan returning to New Orleans, and then also the first day of mandatory minicamp. A lot to do, and glad you're here. It's AFR.
After further review.
I told you last week the story of Jacques Juge, an AFR listener who hired Darren James, but didn't initially, and this is what he said about that decision.
I let that one bite me in the butt, man, because I was going to go with Darren all along, and then I had someone stop by and, promised me the world and sold me rainbows and sunshines, and it didn't work out.
A full year with another realtor, didn't get the home sold, switched to Darren, got it closed in a month, and this is what stood out about Darren James.
I don't know how many customers he have. I'm sure it's a bunch with all his accolades, but he makes you feel like you're the only client that he has, and that's something that you don't get from dealing with other people. You feel like a priority to him at all times, which is nowadays unheard of.
You want to have the best possible experience, feel like a priority, and get results? You want Darren James. Agent225.com. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Sometimes you ignore the signs.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Mike! Yeah?
New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
Oh, that reminds me, I got to go by Benny's because I got my new vehicle, so I got to get the sticker for the Wash Club membership.
Now you need to do that.
It's on my old the windshield of my old car, so I got to get the Hey, Mike, how are you?
You don't just show up at Benny's and they just recognize you like Norm from Cheers and just give you what you need?
Okay, so I mean, yes. But usually it's like, all right, here's the thing. In Baton Rouge, if there's a male between the age of our primary demo is 25, 54, but it might even skew, you can maybe expand it to 18, right? Sure. Generally, in this town, they are familiar with me. They see the bald head, beard, the whole thing, and they're like, Scone. So I'll pull into Benny's, and there's always, the guys pushing the button or whatever, putting the tape on the back. And so, yes, they generally do. They're very nice, and that's awesome. And but I still got to go, Mike. I mean, I still got to go get the sticker for the thing because it's it's a little barcode. So you pull up, and it's got to read the barcode. So the little arm goes up. First world problems, man.
That's true. The arm. I mean, no matter how famous you get, the arm can't. I mean, I guess AI now. Technology is getting better. Maybe car wash arms will start recognizing you too.
I mean, it still needs to read the barcode, man. So it's got to be there. Shout out as always. Good to hear from you, man. By the way, speaking of super famous and having lots of money, Cam Jordan has made about $150 million in contracts in his career. He's going to be back in New Orleans. Scale of 1 to 10, Mike, how surprised are you that Jordan's going to play another season in New Orleans?
Oh, not surprised at all. If this had happened sooner in the offseason, that I would have been like a 1 to 2. But he let it go longer than I expected. I mean, when it lasted into mid-June, I thought he either must have really been insulted by the offer that they made to him, or he must have really, started to settle with the idea like maybe I could live without football and started to enjoy it. But at least for the first 4 or 5 months of the offseason, this was the outcome I expected. I mean, and for all the reasons he said today, I mean, he couldn't really picture himself somewhere else. He couldn't really walk away. He still loves it too much. He's too competitive. He loves being at OTAs. He loves being in the locker room. Like, this really is his lifeblood. And I don't think it was about the money. I think it was about maybe the money was a little insulting, especially after he had that great season last year, and he was surprised they just made him the same offer again. And that, after he thought he gave back a lot last year, I thought he thought he proved something to them that the offer would go up. But other than getting past that, everything else fits here.
You said the word insulted or insulting twice in that answer. You obviously have covered Cam Jordan for 15 years. So, I mean, you know him certainly better than I do. How much does that feeling, right? I mean, the guy's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And to be, I'm not even going to say lowball because I think it's actually the appropriate offer, but to not get a better offer, how do you think Cam Jordan reacted to that?
I mean, I think probably disappointment would be the prevailing emotion. Like, I mean, your brain understands that's what happens when you're 37 years old in the league. And even though he did have the 10-plus sacks last year, it was trending a different direction before that. That was, his brain knows they should not bet on 10 more sacks this year. But, one of his contemporaries is Cam Hayward for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's still getting $20 million. He's still the face of that franchise. Like, it's tough. Your brain might understand it, but you're kind of like, I might be on the Mount Rushmore of this franchise. Do the rules have to apply to me too?
Which is kind of wild, Mike, because the Saints, who have been a horrible cap team, have showed remarkable discipline in free agents, especially with their own. Where does that come from?
Well, it comes from necessity, for one thing. I mean, they've been jammed so close to the ceiling of the cap since about the year Cam Jordan started playing in the NFL, that they've had to ask Deuce McAllister to take a pay cut. They had to ask Devery Henderson to take a pay cut. They certainly did it with Marcus Colston. They had to ask him to take a major pay cut. They've done it with Tyrann Mathieu. They've done it with Demario Davis. They've done it. They're maybe going to do it with Alvin Kamara. They've done it with Cam Jordan multiple times. So they can fit everyone under the cap. It's been a part of how they've done business. And I actually think one of the uglier parts of cap management is going to franchise icons and trying to shave $1 million here and shave $1 million there, which ultimately doesn't matter except for what it represents. So that has been a big part of their business model, to be honest.
Mike, on the field where you've got Chase Young, Carl Granderson, and then you went and added 2 additional players at that position.
Yeah.
How does Cam fit in, and what does it mean for the group that he's back? Because, Mike, you tell me if I'm wrong, but it certainly looked like they went and added Wilson and Jennings, with the idea that Cam wasn't going to be back.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be really interesting. And Chris Rumpf, they re-signed as well. There's not enough room for all those guys. So somebody's not making the team, or injuries could always sort things out. And the one that's really interesting, I think, for Cam's role is Anthony Jennings, because his specialty has been being an edge rusher who's really good at run defense, and that's Cam's thing. So, Tyree Wilson might be more of a pass rush specialist. Chris Rumpf is a lot smaller. He's a 6'2", outside linebacker for a 3-4 defense. Cam is a big defensive end who's great against the run. So I do wonder if there's room for him and Chase Young and Carl Granderson and Anthony Jennings all to play in the same game. Sometimes this stuff sorts itself out. Not all these guys are always available all the time. You need depth. But it will be interesting. I mean, I think his snaps will have to be affected if both of those guys prove worthy of making the team.
Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football, at Mike Triplett, if you want to give him a follow. Is there anything, I don't want to say anything, but what is notable worth watching at Minicamp?
Well, obviously everything that takes place in the passing game. So quarterback, pass catchers, pass defenders, defensive backs, linebackers, and sometimes ends dropping into coverage. All that is highly competitive. Offensive and defensive line and run game is useless to try to watch. But quarterback timing, quarterback rhythm, receiver routes, defensive backs, you can make pretty decent judgments on those guys for sure, especially when you're talking about everything we want to see is related to Kellen Moore installing an offense and Tyler Shuck running it.
Alvin Kamara is someone you mentioned. Do you expect any update on Kamara, before training camp?
I've thrown my expectations out the window because this one has been so messy and so unique. It's not like, they've asked, I just said it, they've asked, for 2 decades, they've asked franchise icons to take pay cuts. Deuce McAllister all the way through to Demario Davis, Cam Jordan. It's fine. You do that. You cut players. They've cut franchise icons because it's a cold, hard business, and it's not even what have you done for me lately, what are you going to do for me next? But they haven't asked Alvin to take a pay cut. They're handling this so strangely, Matt. They're kind of like I don't know, hoping he chooses to walk away. It's weird. They're almost ghosting him. They were surprised when he showed up last week, and he was like pulling a move on them. Like, guess what? If you guys aren't going to call me, I'm just going to show up. And what are you going to do about it? Like, and then today he shows up, and they don't use him in 7-on-7 or 11-on-11. Like, I don't know what their end game is here. I don't know why they haven't offered him a pay cut yet. I don't know why they haven't cut him yet. And if they want to keep him, boy, they are letting the relationship get a little fractured. If they plan to keep him, this isn't how you treat someone. So I have no idea if it's like he's an asset. We don't want to just cut him because maybe we'll need him in September if there's injuries, or maybe another team will come calling if they have injuries, and we'll be glad we held on to him. But otherwise, I have no idea why they've waited till mid-June without even discussing a new contract with him. They're obviously not going to keep him at his current contract. That I know for a fact. But why they haven't even talked pay cut or offered a pay cut, I have no idea.
It sounds like you just described the plot to How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
It is. I think I made the police academy, Steve Gutenberg trying to get fired from the police academy because he couldn't quit analogy, but yours might be better. Yeah.
It's so weird. What do you think happens?
I think ultimately I'm still going to predict that he stays in place for this team because I think he's the second best running back on the team. I think he's better than Devin Neal. I think he's better than Audric Estime, and they're trying to build a team that can win the NFC South. So why not have some depth there and have Alvin Kamara as your 1B or capable backup or change of pace guy in the passing game. So I still keep thinking that makes sense, but what they've done doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know if I can apply logic to the situation.
It's Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football, at Mike Triplett. Is there anything else that last thing that you saw today that I haven't asked about that I should have asked about because you were there and I wasn't?
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to deciding what's going to make or break this team, I think it's the secondary. Injuries. It's injuries number one. Like, I mean, I really like their offensive line. They lose any one of those guys, they're in trouble. The receivers, if they lose Olave or Tyson, they're in trouble. I mean, that's what's going to make or break this team. But as far as their healthy players, there's so many question marks in this secondary. Kool-Aid McKinstry had a really good day today. He's had a couple of those. I think we've liked what we've seen from Jonas Sanker trying to move into that star position. I think we've liked what we've seen from Julian Blackmon in that deep safety position. But, man, that they all have to work. So you can evaluate them in a passing camp, and I'd say so far it's been a positive OTAs and minicamp for Sanker in a new job, Julian Blackmon back in that other job, and Kool-Aid McKinstry sort of being the man now with Alontae Taylor gone. But those three guys have to, they have to have a great training camp. They have to have a great season because it all kind of falls apart if those guys aren't really, really good.
That's interesting. I can certainly agree, but well said. Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Always appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, bud. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020. 924-2020. You want to see 2020? Call the Williamson Eye Center over at 924-2020. Hey, I want to remind you also, I think for a lot of people, maybe you might think, I don't know that I can afford to have refractive procedure. Don't let cost be an option. They have financing available, 24 months of 0% or deferred interest. There's actually a cost calculator on the website where you can look at what your lifetime spent on contacts and glasses and supplies would be, and you can compare that to the cost of a refractive procedure, of having LASIK or PRK or the custom lens replacement. And I think you'll probably be interested to find, like, lifetime, this is actually a more affordable cost-saving option. Just go for that consultation with Dr. Blake Williamson. Get rid of the contacts and glasses forever. Let the Williamson Eye Center help. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Rolling along here in the 5 o'clock hour, and glad you are driving home with us. Hoping you're making the most of these summer days. If you're on vacation, still taking us with you. We appreciate you for being there while the kiddos are out of school. We're here every day and glad that you are as well. Otter will be along in 15 minutes. Auto locks are posted at LouisianaSports.net. You can always get them for free there at LouisianaSports.net. Let me knock out a quick break. Got in my inbox today updated conference championship odds. Notably, everyone wanted to know an update with Texas Tech, now not having Brendan Sorsby, but got all of the conference championship odds. A few takeaways. We'll get to that as we continue on AFR.
After further review.
Love telling you about Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, and they are into just plant something mode with so many beautiful summer options. How about these gorgeous caladiums? They look like the big elephant ears. I mean, we have these all over our backyard as well. Find your favorite beautiful plant, flowers, trees, whatever it is to beautify your outdoor space, your flower beds, your patio pots. Maybe you want to plant some of Johnny Naylor seeds. They got tons of those over at Clegg's as well. The bottom line is, at any of the 4 locations, they have chock full greenhouses of beautiful flowers with shipments arriving daily, and the helpful horticulturists with the knowledge and know-how to help you find the right thing for your backyard or outdoor space to beautify that area and bring you so much enjoyment. It's Clegg's Nursery. They've been doing it for 60 years, y'all. So buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you into Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. Trusted by champions, built for Louisiana.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Well, she ain't in the cars or pickup trucks, but if it runs like a deer, man, her eyes light up. She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on.
Is hunting season really coming up? I guess so. This note from Grace earlier today at Sunshine said, hey, hunting season's coming up. Time to start getting your call ready with Sunshine. Okay. I guess so. Fall is usually...
I was about to say, like, we're talking like deer season?
I guess.
Something like that?
Y'all know, I mean, that ain't me. But, I mean, you need a deer. Not like a deer that you're going to go shoot. Deer season's coming, but I mean like deer. D-E-E-R-E. John Deere season is here. Bunky and below. You want a deer? What?
I liked that.
What?
Deer season is here. I like that.
And why do you think I'm sitting in this chair?
I mean, that was a good. Well, I mean, strikes and gutters going sometimes with your puns there.
Why do you think I got this? Why do you think I got this list of advertisers, Muse?
But I mean, like that one was good.
Don't you ever say strikes and gutters with my puns again. There's some things that just will not stand. Criticizing a pun. I love a pun, as we know here. There's no joke. I love a pun. You don't like puns, you can get the hell out of here.
You don't like, I mean, yes, considering we're in America. If you don't like spaghetti and meatballs, you can just get the hell out of here.
What does spaghetti and meatballs have anything to do with this?
That
We're
reminded
talking about
me of.
puns. We're talking about puns.
When you were like, you get the hell out of here. That's what it reminded me of.
What it reminds you of?
Actually, of Big Daddy.
What about Big Daddy?
That's a quote from Big Daddy.
No,
Actually,
it's not.
Yes,
I was
I
talking
am
about
hungry.
John Deere.
But yeah,
pun,
I could
and
eat.
puns. John Deere and puns is what I was talking about. You started talking about spaghetti and meatballs.
Mm-hmm.
They go together like lamb and
There we go. There he is.
I can't resist. That's a good movie. If you haven't seen Big Daddy in a while, go see. That was 1999. When a little Muse needed Marilyn Monroe Musso. Why did I go Marilyn Monroe Musso to wipe his booty still, I bet.
We had that one. We had Big Daddy on the VHS. It's quality.
Who didn't? LSU edge target Abraham Cisse. Remember him? A big edge rusher from the East Coast that 5-star was visiting a couple weeks ago. LSU really put forth a good effort for Cisse and gave him a lot to think about. Well, he's picked Notre Dame. I don't think that's really a surprise. Notre Dame was always thought to be the leader there. So Abraham Cisse off the board. He's picked the Fighting Irish. So LSU has KJ Green, 1 5-star elite edge rusher. It'll be interesting to see if they could land another. They've certainly hosted plenty of them, and you just see. I mean, I think the way that I think about, react to, consider high school recruiting classes now and prospects is just so different than what we've always done and thought about and looked at with these recruiting classes. It's so hard to react to a high school commitment and be excited or disappointed or anything like that because you just have so many ways to build and supplement your roster that the impact of a high school recruit is just so minimized, unless if you're talking about someone that you expect is going to step on campus day one and be an impact guy. So if you can get like Ahmad Hudson was massive for LSU because of the way that this offense features the tight end, and because Trey'Dez Green is going pro after this year, you add Ahmad Hudson, boom, massive, plug and play, great athlete. I mean, immediate impact guy. That is massive. You know what I mean? Like Lamar Brown is going to be an immediate contributor at defensive end or edge for LSU this season as a true freshman, unequivocally. Massive, making sure you kept him in this class. You know, aside from those guys that you think are going to be immediate impact guys, and even if you miss out on those types of guys, you're just going to go into the portal and find proven college players that can supplement. So I just think it's way easier now to take high school recruiting with a grain of salt. If you get players you want, awesome, celebrate it. If guys that you want go somewhere else, okay, like you're going to be fine. It's no longer about building 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive elite level recruiting classes to build your depth. It's about building a roster for this year. because next year there's going to be a new crop of guys. It's why, like, not signing, Josh Dobson or if Albert Simeon ends up going to A&M, just okay. Like, LSU's going to be good on the offensive line in 2027, whether Simeon's there or not. And maybe somewhere down the line he goes in the portal, you sign him then. All right, it's after further review. I do want to talk about these updated conference championship odds, which I think is pretty fascinating. We'll get to that in a second. Real quick reminder. Today's the 16th, so the 19th, 3 days, is the last day to enter for a fortified roof, that grant program through the LDI, the Louisiana Department of Insurance. PSA, if you go to parishbuilt.com, that's our company at Parish Construction and Roofing. Go to parishbuilt.com. Right there at the top of the homepage, there's the blue bar. It says click here to apply for the LDI Fortified Roofing Grant. Just click that blue bar. It'll take you directly to the LDI website. It's the Louisiana Department of Insurance that is opening up this grant program. 3,000 Louisiana homeowners will be awarded a grant up to $10,000 to install a fortified roof. At Parish, we're a certified fortified roofing company, and we'd love to help you out. So go to the website, fill out the paperwork. If you're awarded a grant, we'd love to walk you through that process and help you. Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Again, the 19th is the last. You get 3 days, the last day to enter into that. Go to the portal and enter the lottery for one of the $10,000 grants through the Louisiana Department of Insurance. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. This is no doubt going to change a bunch in the coming days and weeks, but Bovada has updated, so on the offshore sites, has updated conference championship odds. I'll ask Jimmy his thoughts on this. Interestingly, Texas, a plus 280 favorite to win the SEC, followed by Georgia at plus 350 next. LSU at plus 700. LSU's ahead of A&M, ahead of Alabama, ahead of Ole Miss, ahead of Oklahoma. Teams that made the college football playoff a year ago, LSU's ahead of all of them. I think it's a major hat tip and major respect for Lane Kiffin. Big Ten, Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, and then a gigantic drop-off to USC and Michigan. So Ohio State plus 190, Indiana plus 250, Oregon plus 275. So really consolidated there at the top with those three. In the ACC, just give the thing to Miami. Miami's minus 140. Next is SMU at plus 700. Freaking joke. By the way, the Big 12, which just saw its prohibitive favorite, Texas Tech, lose their starting quarterback, still has Texas Tech at minus 105, followed by BYU at plus 650. I mean, basically, Miami in the ACC and Texas Tech in the Big 12 should be just runaways. Also interesting, man, the Pac-12 is back this year with all those Mountain West teams going into the Pac-12. So Boise State is favored to win the Pac-12 this year, which is weird to say, but worth remembering. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us. Tuesday show powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Let me knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. Don't you move. AFR.
AFR.
REV. Let's Rev. Let'sRev.com. Or, better yet, go to RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com. RevFiber is their new marquee product as they continue at Rev expanding their fiber network across parts of our state. Just a few months ago, Rev came into my neighborhood, laid fiber. We immediately switched. My parents had Rev for years. They loved Rev and loved this customer service. They're now laying fiber in my parents' new neighborhood, so they're obviously a Rev customer. And it's not just residential. Commercial as well for your business. At Parish Construction and Roofing, we are a Rev customer. Actually, one of the Rev commercials that's running, you'll see it, like Terrio's on it. They came into our office at Parish and shot one of the commercials, interviewed Ryan, talked to him about how we do business with Rev. So practice what I preach here with Rev. Both my home and our business, we're Rev customers. RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files? Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Better coverage for less money. That's what you get at Insurance Network of Louisiana. And you also get great people that go to work for you. I know I told you the story, but in case you missed it, I'll repeat it. But last week, bought a new car over at South Point Volkswagen. While I was there, they needed proof of insurance. Couldn't find my insurance card. Shocker. Probably a lot of people in the same boat there. I actually texted Adam. He was at the beach, so he got in touch with Jay, who then texted me within 2 minutes. I had my proof of insurance in my inbox, and then they took over from there, called South Point, and got everything switched for my new vehicle on my insurance. I did nothing. So not only do they work to find you better coverage for less money, it's free to have them shop. When you switch, they're your agent. So they are looking out for you and helping you with all this stuff. They're a text away at any time. It's Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450, or online at lainsurance.net.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Down. Excuse me. That's better. Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's going on, Matthew?
Man, how about Oklahoma beating Georgia last night? My
How about that, huh?
I mean...
Yeah, I can't believe Texas and Georgia in the elimination game tonight. That's hard to believe.
Well, I'm cheering for Texas. I want LSU's home run record to stand, and I don't need Georgia, who hit 3 homers in the loss last night, getting any closer to that 1997 record. So
solo shots. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Guys swinging for 3-run homers with the bases empty. So 10 more flyouts / pop-ups last night, and that was a concern coming in for the Georgia Bulldogs, biggest launching pad in all of college baseball. Would it apply to the most pitching-friendly park? And when you get to the College World Series, now they're pitching. They got 2 complete games, and
So, I mean, they're pitching. They can attack the strike zone a lot more when the ball's not flying out like it does. So, we get to tonight's game, and boy, it's been right around a pick 'em, shaded to Georgia just a slight bit. The win is basically a non-factor tonight, just a little bit out to center, but not as much as it was blowing out to left center last night when the total still came under. I like Texas in this game tonight, so I think that they are going to be facing tougher pitching than what they did last night. Texas has options if their starter is not exactly on tonight, so I think Texas can beat you different ways. So I think the Georgia Bulldogs may be out of it after tonight. So we're going with the Texas Longhorns. I actually found a little plus money on that, but right around a pick 'em, even money. I forget what it is right now.
It's minus $1.10 on Texas and minus 120 on Georgia.
Yeah. So Texas on the money line in that one. 3 Major League Baseballs. We almost swept it last night. It's kind of courageous and ambitious, whatever you want, foolish maybe. You're going against the Dodgers, but we had a lead out at Chavez Ravine, lost by 1 run, fell short of that sweep. Going to go to Cincinnati, the Reds taking on the Mets. Kodai Senga, he's struggling a little bit. Last 3 starts in 8 1/3 innings pitched, he's given up 16 earned runs. That's not good. So that's 18. The Reds are a capable lineup at home. Disappointment. They started out so well. They were part of that National League Central Division that had all winning records right now. It's kind of settled down, but Reds should take care of business tonight. Singer is improving as of late. He is not at his best. Speaking of the College World Series, against LSU that year. All right, and then we go into Texas minus 30 against
1
Minnesota.
minute remaining.
Debbie Matthews has been our favorite fade for the Twins, so we're going to fade him again, take Texas minus 130. And then tonight we're going back to the well. Detroit hit for us last night. They are in much better form than the Astros right now. Hunter Brown has thrown well, but only 2 starts. They're still limiting his pitch count right now. Framber Valdez, the former Astro, we're going to take Valdez plus 55 or so. So we're going to take Detroit, Texas, and the Reds money line in Texas in the College World Series.
Yeah, Framber Valdez against his former team. How about Kumar Rocker going for the Rangers tonight? Speaking of all those SEC
improving.
arms,
He's getting better and better.
And
better.
then
Last 6 starts have been pretty good.
All right, the Longhorns in the CWS and the Reds, Rangers, and Tigers. Those are your auto locks. You can always get them at LouisianaSports.net. Where are you tomorrow, Otter?
Sammy's Prairieville location,
Nice.
Old Perkins, just off of Airline.
Not far from the crib. We appreciate it, Otter. Thanks.
Good luck.
All right, man. We'll see you. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. First Southland. Nope. No. I got it. Well, that still works. I got to keep old habits die hard. Yes, FirstSouthLand.com does work, but new URL is spell out the name. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. 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 If you're thinking of buying land, you want to learn about a land loan and why you need to do business with a land lender, a local land lender that has helped Louisianians buy land since 1913, you want First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. That's where you start. They have the ultimate recreational land buying guide. That's a free resource on the website. It's a great resource. Listen, if you can go buy land, if it's for tax purposes, for an investment property, maybe it's to build your family's dream home, maybe it's your recreational property, hunting property. You want to be educated. You want to be informed. Do it right there at FirstSouthFarmCredit.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season.
And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our Lay of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.